Hello everyone, welcome back to PUC Online Classroom. Today I am going to continue our unit, okay? And the first activity that I'm going to talk about is grammar focus, okay? Questions with how short answers. So we're going to learn how to use WA word with how and how we can answer the questions, all right? So you can see right here we have how often, how long, how well, and how good. But of course, we can have more than this. However, I would like to focus only the grammar points in the book. So we have this four. Okay. So how plus adjective. But we also can use how plus adverb as well. Okay. So whenever you ask how often, everybody, so we ask about how, let's say, frequent do you do a certain kind of activity. Okay. How many times? Just like that. All right. And then you can answer every day, twice a week, not very often, I'm sorry. And how long do you spend at the gym? So we ask about duration. Okay, so that you can say 1 hour, 2 minutes, 30 minutes, all right, things like that. As you can see the examples right here, we have 30 minutes a day, 2 hours a week, about an hour on weekends. All right, so the answers right here and the answers right here are different. Why? Because this one every day tell us about the number of days. All right, this is about duration. Okay, because the question is about how long, so you should find the difference. All right, if if they give you only the question, you can ask anything, but for sure that they will give you the answer. All right, so that whenever you see the number of days, so there will be how often. Let's say how many times. But whenever you see duration like this, all right, 1 hour or 2 hours, things like this, so it is about how long. Okay, and now we move on to how well and how good. So what are the difference between the two, or what is the difference? Okay, so how well do you play tennis? How good are you at sports? So the difference between these two is that how well is an adverb, okay, how good is an adjective. All right, and whenever it is an adjective, you cannot use any other verbs. You can have to use a verb to be or linking verbs. How good are you at sports? All right, but whenever it is an adverb, you cannot use with to be. Okay, you have to use different verbs. That's why the difference between this is about the way we make questions. So in order to make question with how well, we have to have auxiliary verb do or does to form a question. However, when it comes to good, so we have to use to be right here. So because it is an adjective, then we have to use to be a linking verbs. But usually we have to use to be to form a question. All right, in this case. And let's take a look at the answers between these two. You see that almost similar, pretty well, pretty good. This one is an adverb, this is an adjective. About average, not very well, not so good. Okay, so this seems to focus on adjective, and this seems to focus on adverb. All right, so once again, how plus adjective or how plus adverb. So the forms is just like how. We begin the question with how and then adjective or adverb right here, and then you have to answer to the questions. So in order to find out whether we use how often, how long, how well, or how good, so you need to take a look at the answers. As you can see, the first one is about the number of days, is about how many days, okay, and how many times, things like that. Okay, how long is about duration, so we ask about duration. Okay, 30 minutes a day, 1 hour a day, things like that. And how well, we ask about the ability. Okay, so when you want to find out this one, if you want to find out about duration, we ask how long. This one, if you want to find about how many times you do a certain activity, you have to ask how often. And how well and how good, the meaning is going to be the same because we ask about the ability of doing something. But the difference between these two is about the verb that we use. If this one is adjective, then you have to use to be. And if it is an adverb like well right here, so that you have to use auxiliary verb do or does to form a question. All right, hopefully you can find the difference among the four. Okay, so once again, many times, the number of times, so how often, duration, how long, ability, how well or how good. So how good, adjective, to be, and how well with do or does to form a question. All right, so that you can take a look at the answers in order to identify whether you should ask how often, how long, how well, or how good. All right, so let's take a look at the answer altogether. So let's try exercise A. Complete these questions, then practice with a partner. So let's go through this one. Okay, so you see add, right? So see add, and then look at the answer right here. I guess I'm pretty good, so it is an adjective. Okay, and when you see good, normally we say good at, right? So you have to ask a question with how good, and then this one I, then you have to say you. All right, how good are you at sports? And then you can say, I guess I'm pretty good. I play a lot of different sports. Okay, let's move on to next. Blah blah blah, spend online, and then we have about an hour after dinner. I like to chat with my friends. About an hour is about duration, right? It's not about how many times. Okay, it's not about ability, so we ask about duration that you spend online. So you can say, how long, all right, so the subject is I. So you can say, how long do you spend online? Okay, once again, how long do you spend online? Okay, and then the answer can be in a short way. It can be about an hour after dinner. Okay, number 3, go to the beach. Look at the answer, once or twice a month. See, that is about the number of times. It answer to the question of how many. All right, so when it is about how many, then we go and ask how often. All right, because it doesn't show us about the ability, so it's not about how well or how good. So right here the answer must be, how often do you go to the beach? All right, again, how often do you go to the beach? And the answer is once, one time, twice, two times, a month. Okay, and last one, look at that, we have well, right? So it is about how well. How well do you swim? And then not very well, I need to take swimming lessons. Okay, once again, how well do you swim? All right, so let me go back to number 1. How good are you at sports? Number 2, how long do you spend? Number 3, how often do you go? And number 4, how well do you swim? Okay, hopefully you get the answers. If not, you can play the video once again to find out the answers. All right, so let's go to number 12, so which is about listening. So I asked, I think I had touched the listening audios, so that you can just go to that audio and listen and find out the answers. All right, so let me explain the words right here. The first one is a couch potato, right? A couch potato is a person who likes spending time, watching TV, and he or she is very passive. He or she doesn't do anything besides sitting or watching TV. That's it. So they just sit and watch, or maybe they sleep and watch together. Okay. Fitness freak. This person, is pretty good at spending time, or most of the time they don't do any other thing besides sports. Okay, so because they want to make sure that they can get fit, or they can be in a great shape, all right, in a very short time. So that's why they have to do a lot of activities. So sometimes running and walking, and they spend most of the time, they don't care about the other things. What they do care is about their body. So they try to do as much as they can in order to keep fit, but sometimes it's too much for them. Okay, fitness freak. A sports nut, or you can say a sports fan. Okay, so it's the same. It's a fan, football fan, all right, soccer fan, it's a basketball fan, all right, or you can say a sports nut. This person doesn't play, this person does not, play, let's say, or do any exercises or sport, let's say, but they a big fan of a certain kind of sport, all right. as you can see the picture right here. And the last one, a gym rat, is like a person who not really unlike the fitness freak. Everybody fitness freak, you try to work so hard, you know, sometimes you are not strong enough, but you try to put yourself too much in order to get what you want, okay? And sometimes it has a lot of problems, okay, with the fitness freak. A gym rat, usually they have regular programs so that they can spend their time, you know, not always, all right, but they probably have regular time, you know, to do exercise or some kind of sports. But this one is about gym, so they love to go to the gym and do weight training and a lot of activities at a gym, all right. So these two are different. This one, they work so hard, I mean sometimes beyond their energy, all right, and it can cause some kind of problem to the health as well. But this one is different, right? This one, they focus on a certain point, okay? For example, they want to focus on weight training, so they will focus on weight training. They do weight training, okay? They lift weight, things like that, all right? So your job in this activity is to listen and find out who is a couch potato, a fitness freak, a sports nut, a gym rat. Okay, you need to find out. So these are the people, all right? We have Rachel, Nicholas, Jack, and Jennifer. So these four have a certain kind of role, all right? So you need to find out. Maybe by looking at the names, you can identify which one is male, which one is female, all right? And yeah, just try to listen and find out the answer for this, okay? And I will give you the answers later. All right, so let's go to reading. That is the last activity. How healthy and fit do you think you are? Skim the questions, then guess your health and fitness score from 0, very unhealthy, to 50, very healthy. All right, so you have to skim, you know, it just read pretty quick in order to get what it is. And once you finish this, you can do a certain kind of quiz, all right, about yourself. Okay, just an example, all right, and then you have to be honest to yourself. Okay, for example, the first one: how many servings of fruits and vegetables do you eat each day? Servings right here is about the portion of the food. Okay, the amount of food that you eat. But this one, not the food, is about fruit and vegetables. You can simply say 5 or more, between 1 or 4, or I don't eat fruits or vegetables, okay, so that you can circle the answer, the score right here. And once you finish the score, then you know exactly how healthy you are, okay, or how unhealthy you are. It depends. How much sugar do you eat in food and drinks? So you have to answer by yourself, okay? So we have 10 questions, so make sure that you go from 1 to 10, all right? And let's take a look at the answers right here. Rate yourself. So this is about score that you're gonna get, and then you will see the result of having a certain score. All right, as you can see, 42 to 50, good job, you're doing all the right things for healthy life. 28 to 41, you're on the right track. With a little more work, you will be great. All right, see that? 15 to 27, keep trying. You can be very fit and healthy, so don't give up. All right, and last one is 14 or below. It's time to improve your health and fitness. You can do it. So whenever you are somewhere about 14 or below 14 or lower than 14, then there will be problems. So you are unhealthy, so that you have to do something. All right. So nothing else, everybody. It's just only the quiz about your own healthy, you know, lifestyle, so that you have to answer to the question based on your own experience. All right, and then you have to circle the answer. After that, you have to do calculation, all right, to find out about the total. Okay, and here is the score for you, so that you can go through this one. Okay, all right, that's it for today, everyone. If you have any questions, you can leave me question in our Telegram group chat. All right, and especially about the question with how right here, if you have trouble understanding this, you can leave me question as well in our Telegram group chat, and I will answer to your questions. That's it for today, everyone. Thank you so much. Goodbye.